as a part of our show today. Let's go ahead and go straight to the list of unbeatens first, Garrett, because Craig brought that up. Oklahoma no longer a part of it. The Air Force Academy, Seminoles, Georgia, Liberty, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington. We know that at least Ohio State and Michigan are going to play. And there's a note we'll get into about Washington needing to kind of get refocused because they've kind of gotten by, and they have 3 games in a row that are pretty salty there. So those are the list. 2 of those teams are most likely not going to be allowed to be a part of the college football playoff no matter what they do the rest of the year, just because we understand realism. So there we are with that. James Madison is 8-0 but ineligible. Now, they can actually get into a bowl game. I saw the note from Brett McMurphy. If there's not enough teams that become bowl eligible, then they could get in a bowl game, which would be great if that, in fact, usually there are too many teams and not enough bowls to put them in.
Well, I mean, that there are some teams that are, like, with their schedule, are skirting on the edges of maybe not making it when they always would, like Clemson right now. Mm-hmm. Could find themselves on the outside looking in. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. But as far as the undefeateds go, well, now the doomsday scenario of 5 undefeated Power 5 teams is over.
Won't happen.
It won't happen. It wasn't going to happen.
Never has happened.
It never has happened. And here's the deal. If it happens any year after this year, who cares? There's a 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
Good for it. If that happens, it happens. It probably especially won't happen then because scheduling's going to be a whole lot different than it's ever been in the coming years. So, it's going to be interesting to see where this heads. I know the committee has their first poll coming out, which no one should care about, but you're going to tomorrow, but we'll see.
I mean, the poll tomorrow really doesn't matter all that much. I know there will be somebody that argues like, yes, it does because of positions. It's like, no, because a lot of it's going to sort itself out, like Michigan and Ohio State. I mean, it doesn't really matter where they are to start with because of where they'll be by the time they play each other, right? I mean, some of the other jockeying for position, I'm sure there'll be an argument for why that's super important, somewhere in the corner of the internet. But, yeah, I don't get serious about this based on what we've seen in previous years until, at least a couple more weeks from now. Mm-hmm. I think it's all for show, at least early on. But, I mean, the Ohio State-Michigan thing, somebody's going to fall from those ranks. Liberty doesn't play anybody. James Madison is a great story. Glad to see them getting some love nationally. I'm going to be glad in Michigan's case that they're actually going to play someone because they have had a pretty good run here of favorable scheduling. Not all in their control, obviously, but they get to play Penn State and Ohio State this month. So we'll see them matched up with somebody a little bit more on their level. And you know what? If they get through all that unscathed, then you give it up for them. And I know there will be the never-ending cries of cheating and all that will follow them, but we'll cross that road when we get to there as far as, if they get through this last month undefeated. But, yeah, that's a dwindling list, and cool to see Air Force on there getting love. Little did we know last year watching them in that frigid bowl game that was right up their alley that they would be a team that would turn around and have the year that they're having right now. So, if Baylor was playing any better, it would take some of the sting off that loss maybe. You get, Air Force was pretty good, but, I mean, they've been so bad since then that there's no trying to sunshine that up at all. But, yeah, a great story for Air Force, James Madison, and, a lot of that we'll see how the rest of it shakes out.
All right, there's still a lot to